You're welcome to the O1 Best Special on Dominion Television, your channel of choice. Dominion Sport is what we call it right here on the go, where we talk all things sport right here. And we have so much to give you in the world of sports this wonderful morning, from the local front, ever buzzing, ever blazing, the world of transfer, ever exciting for you to enjoy right here on the show. Also, we've got an update from the World Cup, still very much ongoing. African teams making us proud, getting qualification to the round of 32 for the very first time. Cote d'Ivoire will be heading straight to the knockout stage. Also, like we said yesterday, South Africa were able to make it through to the knockout stage, and we have other teams making their way into the knockout stage. We have more matches to look forward to, more results to talk about right here on the go today, and also transfer updates making the rounds in the world of sports this wonderful morning. All this and more, this is the only place where you can get it, Dominion Television. I am Paul Abe Toluwanimi, and I'm not alone in the studio this wonderful morning. I have Sanuruddin Alimi, the knight himself, ready to talk all things sport right here with me. Top of the morning to you, my brother, and how excited are you for the weekend?
Good morning to Alimi. Good morning, viewers. It's nice to be back again. I'm so excited. Football is giving me all the bumps that I want. Some matches have been decided for the next round of the World Cup, round of 32. Some matches are fixed. Some teams are waiting for their opponent, and some slots are yet to be picked up entirely. And you know, by the end of the week or by the end of this round, about 12 teams will pack their bags and leave the United States, Mexico, and Canada back to their countries, and prepare for their respective futures at the end of the day and watch the rest of the World Cup at home. So it's just exciting times at the World Cup right now. And not forgetting the Formula One Grand Prix, Australian Grand Prix is back this weekend. It precedes the Silverstone next week, like we said. Lewis Hamilton is on fire at the moment. How is he going to perform at this stage? That's a big question on the lips of everybody in the Formula One scene. And rebuilding is in full swing. Next week, we're going to have main draw starts because qualifiers ended yesterday, and it's just exciting, and we have that amount to expect. And the world of basketball, we spoke about the draft yesterday, and it's exciting to see players coming in around the NBA, what's going to happen next season. And it seems the MPFL and NSC are listening to us. We are hearing updates from them, updating us about how the league is going to go next season. We're moving closer and closer to the regulations that would bind us next season. So it's just exciting, and I'm so excited to talk about it.
All right, beautiful. We're so excited to talk about all the sports updates we have for you from the desk of Dominion Sport right here on Dominion Television. Let's move straight into action. Let's talk about the local stories and making the round. And this is coming through from the former champions at Remo Stars who have now been relegated to the NNL. We got a report that they don't have any contract and negotiations with the former tactician. We're talking Daniel Ogunmodede. No chance of him to return to the club after 4 years as head coach and leading club to the first ever MPFL title. Relationship set to have broken down, but we're likely to get more details soon. So,
yes, we're expecting this to come a long while ago from Remo Stars or from the camp of Daniel Ogunmodede. We know there was friction behind the background, and towards the end of the season, a technical advisor was employed by Remo Stars to help them prosecute the games leading to the end of the season. But right now, it's coming to the fore. Both parties have decided to part ways and come public and say, okay, something has happened, even though, like you said, the real reasons or what happened behind the background that led to this breakout has not been revealed. But we know right now, Daniel Ogunmodede is no more with Remo Stars, and Remo Stars are maybe looking for a head coach that would take them through the NNL or stick with their tactician. We'll get more details and tell you when we have that. But for Ogunmodede, he did well with Remo Stars. Took them to runner-ups about 2 or 3 times in the MPFL before finally clinching the league 2 seasons ago. Last season didn't work out. Commitment with the Super Eagles team and the Chan Eagles, part of reasons I think would be what Remo Stars would cite as the reason why they decided to part with him. But I know he's a very good tactician, one of the top coaches in the league at the moment, and definitely I know he's going to get the club, snatch him up as soon as possible.
If you're Daniel Ogunmodede, would you be going back to Remo Stars if the offer is GOC on the table for you?
If it's football, you can't write it out. Coaches come and go. Jose Mourinho has gone to back to Real Madrid. He's come back to Chelsea before. We've seen coaches leave a club and go back to clubs. Even in the MPFL, the Oracle has been with Shooting Stars about 2 times. So I'm not ruling out him going back to Remo Stars in the nearest future. But right now, things are broken down. For them to go back, the terms need to be set right, and for both parties to continue the fashion and the manner that brought glory and success
Glory
of
and
the club.
success of the
So
club, yeah.
now they've both parted ways, and I know Remo Stars will be fine. They'll get someone that will pull them through the NNL next season because they have the quality and they have proper management that will help them through that. And for Daniel Ubode, definitely, like I said, one of the top tacticians in the league at the moment. Currently with the Super Eagles setup as part of the technical crew, that's to show you how very vast he is and experienced he is. So I know top sides in the MPFL right now, Liquidia Lips, Shooting Stars, Ikorodu City, any of those big boys are looking at him and say, okay, this is one man that has done it before. He can be on our list, and don't be surprised the transfer story and news that will come around Daniel Ubode and his contract very soon.
Around you just mentioned Shooting Stars, and earlier yesterday, I was speaking to an insider, and I asked the questions. Do you think Nurina Weruru still has what it takes to take Shooting Stars to the next level of football for next season, also continental stage? And I also mentioned Daniel Ogumodede, and he said that in fact Daniel Ogumodede sent letters for a job application, but they didn't meet up with the terms because the terms were so enormous. Wondering where the bonuses were coming from. You were asking that if you are to travel, if we're going to travel away, whatever games you're going to win, you're going to pay the coach again and all of that. And that did not just sit in terms for Shooting Stars. But we wish you the best for Daniel Ogumodede and whatever it is that's going to go. Let's talk about Shooting Stars quickly, Sanuruddin. We understand that Shooting Stars captain Gali Falke has agreed a contract extension with the club until 2028. 2 more years in Ibadan for the skippers will reach 100 appearance for the club last December. Goalkeeper Mustafa Lawal and Bolagade Adelo will also agree extension until 2028. The players want continental football with Oluyole Warriors next season, as well as maintain MPFL title aspirations. That's the update we're getting from the camp of Shooting Stars.
Good one for both sides and all parties involved. Bolagade was solid in the heart of the defense for Shooting Stars last season. Yes, he didn't get a run of fame when Desmond came back into the team, but for every time he was called upon, you saw that grit and that defensive mindedness from the player you want, and if it's the player you want on your side, even if he's not starting, anytime he's called upon, you know he's going to be ready to put up a shift for the team. So that's a great one for Shooting Stars. And for the captain Gali Falke, his experience, like you mentioned, 100 caps with the club. Not many players can boast of that with any football club or any club side in the MPFL. So for you to have 100 appearances in the MPFL with Shooting Stars, that was a great one for him, and for him to have continued. Yes, injuries have hampered his performances with the side and his availability, but still you need that wealth of experience from him, someone who has traveled around the MPFL with the side and knows the nitty-gritty of the club, what the club stands for. So it's a great one. Time down to 2 more years. That gives the chance for the club to either sell him 1 year into the contract or get a replacement for him, or mold a player that would fill up his position when he finally leaves the club at the end of the day. So great one, smart business from them. You're not spending much money on an acquisition of new players to fit up those positions that you currently have players in, and you just extended their contract. So Shooting Stars are going the right way, but they still need to add 1 or 2 players that would bolster the ranks of the club, because next season the expectations from the fans is going to be definitely more than a third finish position at the end of the day. And with the stake as high as that in the MPFL, you know the management and the players are like, will be looking at and say, this is what we should be gunning for at the end of the day. And for the continental football, you need players of good quality that would help your team facing other sides from in and around Africa to progress to the stages where you get money and all at the end of the day.
All right, that's the update. About more stories still coming from the camp of Shooting Stars. I've got the update that a Zimbabwe club has sent in the proposal for Shooting Stars Ali Amin. 3SC are considering rejecting the offer as it does not meet the valuation of the defender who had a tremendous last season in Ibadan. That's the update we're getting from the camp of Shooting Star for the starman at Tijani Ali Amin.
Yes, Tijani Ali Amin did well last season. Was one of the mainstay in the defense for Shooting Star last season, and rightly so. His performances backed up the reason why the coach set him out every time the club faced. And when he came in the beginning of the season, there were question marks about his grit and all, but he shut the naysayers mouth and did well, and even when they call up to the Super Eagles for the Unity games in London, and he had a camera appearance in the final. So that's to show you how his game has progressed, right from just a fringe player for Shooting Stars, got into the side, cemented the sport, moved on to Super Eagles, and now is getting attention from in and around Africa. And for me, Shooting Stars have a gem right there on their hands. Secure a contract for him, and if you are going to cash in big, invest in other positions and other infrastructures that would help the club go forward. And if the valuation doesn't meet, sit on him. Is a player that has promise, and definitely in the nearest future is one player to look forward to.
Right, so if you're still watching us, we're giving you more update from the local desk this wonderful morning. Dominion Sport is what you're watching right about now on Dominion Television, your channel of choice. I'm still giving you update still from the camp of Shooting Stars. They are the one making the rounds this wonderful morning, and we got the update earlier this morning. Shooting Stars, have reached an agreement with principal with Aruna Adi. Personal terms concluded. Major factor being, like I said, his father who once played for the club to lure him into Continental Football Club. Now moving to strike a deal with Remo Stars, who want to close for 10 million naira for one of the prize assets. Sporting Lagos also are not backing down. Now let me also inform you that Shooting Stars responded with an offer for 4 million add-ons, but Remo Stars rejected offer and requested for 8 million naira instead. Shooting Stars are yet to send a counter bid.
Yes, it's exciting times in the world of transfer right now, and this, like we mentioned, has been one of the most interesting and information-filled transfer window we have in the NPFL. And for this size, jostling players in and around themselves. Earlier in the week, we spoke about Rivers United snatching up players from Ninja Tornadoes. Now, Doma United did their screening, appointed a coach. Ranchers Bees has also done something nice in the transfer window for themselves, and the news is just going to keep coming and coming. And now Shooting Stars making rounds. We've spoken about contract extensions for some of their players. Now they've agreed a deal with Aruna Adi in principle, but club-to-club transactions is still ongoing, and negotiations is still ongoing between both sides, which is very important, because at the end of the day, if the seller is not willing to match up with your price, then the buyer has no influence over that. For a player who still has contract left with the club, and they will sell to the highest bidder. And to show you, it's not only Shooting Stars that are looking to secure the signatures of Aruna Adi, just with the personal connections they've had with him in the past is what is giving them the edge over Shooting Stars and over Sporting Lagos, as well as the continental football they can offer him next season. Better exposure. He's going to be playing at an higher level of football than what he currently plays. So it's exciting times. I would like to see where this ends. Shooting Stars won their man. They need to just oppose and go around, find incentives that would make Remo Stars succumb to their plea of getting the contract of their prized assets. So it's exciting times. Aaron Adi is one player I would like to see in colours of Shooting Stars because of what I've seen him do with Remo Stars. So it's just exciting times, and it seems clubs are picking up players from their zones, adding quality into the attack, into the squad, and also it's just exciting times, and I expect more players to still transfer out of Remo Stars, and they'll make more money, a lot of money from the sale of plenty of their players. We spoke about Victor Mbama yesterday. He's yet to confirm or say anything about that. We'll get to that later on in the transfer series, but right now Remo Stars are the sellers because they relegated last season, and you won't expect them to go down with those amount of huge wage bill to a league that's not as competitive and as lucrative as the NPFL. So for next season, I still expect loads of teams to poach players from Remo Stars, and let's see what happens between Remo Stars, Aruna Adi, and Shooting Stars.
All right, how excited are you that we are getting the figures right in the NPFL transfer window? Ever since we have been talking about the transfer this season, we have been talking about figures. It's and the contract is 2 years, it's 10 million. This is the salary they're offering him. The club are countering the bid. It looks we're talking. It's just giving the feeling of Fabrizio Romano talking transfer. Updates. Right, how excited are you for that?
Yes, it's interesting, and for me, this is one part that has improved in our game, and we need database that's going to aid this visuals that we're getting at the moment. So it's exciting. We're getting the figures and numbers right. Everybody's seeing this. Okay, this is what is going down behind the scenes. This is what this club has said. This is what this club is saying, and it's very good to discern all the rumors. And this is just one industry on its own. We know how much Fabrizio Romano, like you mentioned, you know how much he earns from his influence in the transfer world. So if you can create a market out of this, this is very interesting. And for those sides or those accounts that are currently managing the figures and getting information. Very big ups to them and more grease to their elbow.
I agree. All right, we're not done with Shooting Stars. I'm sorry to say, Sanuruddin. Just like I said, they are the one making the board, and Rivers United also chasing tail. I just submitted bid to sign Jonathan John Abu, the 19-year-old forward in Coventry City product. Told the Jonathan agency are considering 3SC because they believe that he can develop in Ibadan, as the club has shown faith in young players and development.
Yes, that's a very good one. We've spoken about Tijani Alamin today. He's a youngster that broke into the squad last season. We can talk about Ismail Omabere, one player that was very important in the first half of the season and also towards the tail end of the season for Shooting Stars. That is one of few examples that we can bring out from Shooting Stars setup last season. They're transitioning from the old experienced players that we see them parade every time in the MPFL and bringing together a young group of players who are exciting and are willing to stake their life for the colors of the club. So it's exciting, and with the way the league is going at the moment, I think we are getting that wave off the old heads and getting into the new generation of players that will shape the future of the league. Like I mentioned, one or two players in the Shooting Stars right now are exciting youngsters in the league. Sporting Lagos are coming with a very exciting young side. Ikorodu City is the set of players. Inter Lagos, especially in the southwestern part of the country at the moment. The football is going younger. It's catching them young. We are seeing a decline or a reduction in the average age of squad sizes, and also it's exciting, and it's going to give the league a different face. It's going to improve the market and bolster our opportunities in the transfer market and in the football world in general. So it's exciting to see what is happening, and team trying to catch those players young that will light up the league and increase their transfer value. Probably keep those players at the club at the end of the day, or make them increase the value of the club in general and compete for titles at the right places and at the right time.
All right, we'll be hoping to see more of that from Shooting Stars, Rivers United, Abia Warriors, Rangers, and all of the big clubs who are still trying to make moves for players for next season. All right, let's move away from Shooting Stars and let's head down to the north, where reports suggest that Ahmed Musa is no longer the chairman of Kano Pillars ahead of the new MPFL season, following a decision by Kano State government. He is expected to continue as sport ambassador to Kano State, while Amadou Moshabu has been named the new chairman. Official confirmation from the club is still very much awaited, but that's the update we are getting this morning. This is what it is right now. I think it's just time for him to focus more on the field and off the field matter.
Yes, it's very exciting for me. And last season, or for the whole of last year, I was given the chance to change the fortunes of Kano Pillars. They almost got relegated at some point, but they were able to galvanize themselves together and get victories that would put them in the MPFL next season. So now they've waded past the troubled waters. They have to look for stability, and it's just nice taking the heavy load or heavy workload away from his table, let him focus on-field situations or sit with just the ambassadorial role that is given by the state government. That's a very good one. Being the face of the league, he knows one or two things that can help the fortune of the club right now. So he's been in the system. Now he has a chance to alter a change from outside the system and bolster the fortunes of Kano Pillars. He did a great job with them last season, mediated for them in crisis situations, did one or two things. We heard about his philanthropic acts and the way he carried the team all along. So now he's no more in charge. The state government have reclaimed their prized assets. Let's see how they handle it, and at the end of the day, at some point in the past or in the future, we're going to actually get this. So now that it's come, Ahmed Musa needs to face his on-field situation or retire from football and become the ambassador that the Kano State government wants.
All right, that's the update from Kano Pillars. We'll be giving you more of that right here on the go. All right, let's move away from that. We're going to go on a break. When we are back, we'll be talking more about the World Cup games that happened yesterday, more to look forward to today, and also transfer updates all the way from Europe. Stay connected, Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram @Dominion.
All right, you're welcome back to Dominion Television, your channel of choice, and this is Dominion Sport. Let me urge you to please make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube and Instagram, we're on TikTok, and make sure you subscribe and drop your comment. I still have Sanuruddin Alimi still right here in the studio with me, and also, yes, I'm still here to give you updates in the world of sport. Let's talk more actions surrounding the local stories this wonderful morning, still coming from the camp of the NSC NFF set up WAFCON Welfare Committee as a Super Falcons target their defense in Morocco following a successful meeting that was held between the Director General of NSC, Honorable Bukola Olakpade, and General Secretary of the NFF, Dr. Mohamed Sanusi, in Abuja on Wednesday. A 7-member committee was set up, which will be chaired by the NFF Executive Board member Aisha Folade, with Ruth David will serve as committee secretary. Other members of the committee include Right Honorable Margaret Ichen, Bagana Kadi, Emeka Ayam, Aderunke, and Tobechuku Oluchi. Director General of NSC, Honorable Bukola Olakpade, said the federal government is committed to ensuring the Super Falcons have each free tournament of any form in financial rancor. And Nigeria will take on Egypt, Zimbabwe, and debutant Malawi in Group C of the 2026 African Cup of Nations, taking place the 25th of July until the 16th of August. This year tournament would also serve as a qualifying competition for next year FIFA Women's World Cup Finals, with the best 4 teams qualifying directly to Brazil, while the 5th place team will be involved in the Intercontinental Playoffs tournament for an opportunity to qualify for the finals. That's the update we are getting. It's a new system already, and we are hoping to see how far the Super Falcons can go without any problem of finances going into the competition.
My first question, I'm sorry, is have they settled the commitment from last year? We've not heard anything from them recently, but this is a good one. But it's wanting to set up a committee, it's wanting to come through at the end of the day. Now we've had not enough time, but still ample time before the camp is being set up for these girls. This is how much you want to pay you per match. This is how much you pay you per win. This is how much you're going to pay per draw. And if you eventually win the trophy at the end of the day, this is what we're going to pay you. So there should be hiccups. There is not much to discuss in that committee. Just how you are going to set up hospitality for the girls, how are you going to transport them through and through the tournament, and how much you are going to pay. Those are the key things on the table for this committee to set up as fast as possible and get it out of the way. There shouldn't be bottlenecks. We know the names of who you are going to call out or ask questions when the time comes around and say the girls are having complaints in the camp saying they don't have that. That should be out of the way. The jerseys, the sponsorships, the movement of the girls, their welfare, their hospitality, and most importantly, their financial reward for representing the colors of of Nigeria should not be compromised at all. And this is a very good one that we are at this stage right now. And let's see what happens between now and when the WAFCON starts. And we hope there are no glitches and hiccups this time around.
All right, that's the update from the camp of the Super Falcons, the NSC, the NFF, the committee members put together to make sure that the Super Falcons have an itch-free financial situation in Morocco. And let me give you more update, and this is coming through from the former captain and former Super Eagles coach Finidi George slams NFF over Eric Shell's dual role. He's saying it's a recipe for failure. Former Super Eagles coach Finidi George has openly criticized the NFF decision to hand over Eric Shell's both the Super Eagles and under 23 coaching role, calling it a risk, distracting and unfair. Do you see that as a big statement from Coach Finidi George, and do you think is right saying it's just a recipe for failure?
It's right in some quarters. You can bring that to the fore and call the attention of the NFF and everybody involved in making this decision to say, okay, this looks like a risk you are taking. If his attention is divided between handling the Super Eagles and the 23 team, is it going to clash? But I don't think that's going to be a problem. That is just like fighting for the local coaches or for any other person who wouldn't get the job at the end of the day, because that's the angle I think is coming from. If it had been given to one of the coaches in Nigeria, but most of them don't have the necessary requirements to take the team forward. And for what the NFF are planning with Eric Shell, in my own opinion, they are trying to streamline the team to have an identity for all nations in the world, from the senior national team down to the developmental teams. They all have a way of playing, and it makes it easy to integrate players from each set of phases or stages down to the national team at the end of the day. So you see the Senegalese side, the same way the national team plays is how the under 23 plays, how the under 17 plays, how the under 20 team plays. So that gives you a look into what is going on in and around Sena Climbs. And for the NFF,
so are you saying we don't have competent coaches who can undo the dream team going forward?
At the moment, I'm sorry, there are no coaches out there who are of that level of Eric Shell or that I think can take the club. We've had the dream team in the hands of local coaches for the past couple of Olympic qualifiers, and they've not been able to take the team there. The last time was with Samson Siasi, I think, and that's a long while ago. So now we need to move forward and take away the bias. If this is what is going to push the nation forward and push our football to be on the big stage, I think it's the right step. And if we have a setup for the under 23 side and the Super Eagles side, that is very fantastic. I'm very cool with it. We're complaining about having old heads in the Super Eagles at the moment, the likes of Ndidi, likes of Osimhen, the likes of Olaino, Iwobi. They are senior players who are getting to the tail end of their careers, and we need to integrate players into the. So if it is the same technical setup these teams are applying, you're not spending extra money. It's just paying just the same fee for the coach of the Super Eagles and coach of the under 23 dream team side. So for me, for Finidi George, I think is a fight for the local coaches or in and around their coaching carcass wouldn't get the job. The NFF have not done so bad. If it compromises the success of Super Eagles on the long run, I think they will revisit the decision and go back to the drawing board and say, okay, this has been a mistake. We'll concession this and give this to a different coach. But if it's going to, if from the blueprint and the talks all around it, I think it's a very fantastic idea. We don't need to go on up and about. The Super Eagles coach can definitely and pick one or two players from the under 23 side who are doing very well and import them into the Super Eagles, since it's the same system and it's just how things are done in senior climbs in the world. And for me, good decision from NFF, but Finidi George, I think, should do better in criticizing the decision of NFF, because we've seen what they've done with the Super Eagles and the 93 Dream Team down to the age grade competitions for Nigeria. So they don't have the effrontery right now, in my own opinion. I'm sorry if that's fine to criticize that decision of the NFF, because I think it's a very good one. We are moving in the right direction. Might just be and for me, the under 23 job, even the clause I was given to Eric Shell was qualification for the next Olympics, which is in 2028, which I think is just around the corner. We have to start preparations now, and if we are complaining about one coach being in charge of both sides at the moment, I don't think that's the right way to go for the NFF or the Nigerian football system at the moment.
All right, and we hope for the very best for Eric Chios as he has been given the bigger task to achieve the dream for the dream team of Nigeria. All right, let's move away from that. Let's listen to Sadiq Umar, the man from Valencia, the Super Eagles player, saying that he wants to watch MPFL on TV and calling for the league to improve. He also urged better welfare for referees to raise officiating standards in Nigeria. All right, let's listen to Sadiq Umar and we'll back to discuss more on that.
TV and watch Kano Pillars against Ranchers Bees or Eyimba playing. I wish I can do that, but it's not possible. So if you are going to say the challenges, there are too much. Is we should fix inside home, then if we fix the home, then we can expand. For example, now the referees, you cannot send a referee to the home club and you expect the referee to come and blow 100%. It's impossible. So let the league take care of the referee. And if the referee is coming to blow a match, to officiate a match, none of the team should have the contact of the referee. But if all the teams will have the contact of the referee, from there, everything is broken. So the first step is the officiating part. To be honest, they have to take very, very good, careful, and they have to take care of the referees the way it's supposed to. That's the number one step that I think Nigeria League is not up to standard. And I wish it will be corrected. The first step, the referee. In terms of the players, you see the clubs are struggling with the players, not in the right way, but okay, the clubs handle the players, but the referee should be taken care by the burden of the league, not by the clubs. Because if you send me a referee and I'm the one to put him in the hotel, I'm the one to feed him, of course you don't expect him to come and blow against me. So this is the first step. If they want things to be okay, they should stop sending the referees to the club. They are to take care of the referee, and that's the number one step. If we do that, things will change.
Yeah, you're welcome back from that one by Sadiq Umar, giving us an update of what he's expecting, from the next season. And remember, he's also a co-owner of Ranchers Bees, who have just been promoted to the MPFS. So, then quickly, within a few seconds, I think I want to agree with what Sadiq Umar is saying about welfare of the referees and also having the MPFL being televised across the world.
We've been clamoring for that for a very long time, and this is one of the questions we've asked the NSC and the MPFL for the coming season. Yes, you've declared 1 billion naira for the winner. Where is the money coming from? How are you getting money from TV rights and all? And how are you selling the league to the people? Because at the end of the day, that's the football business. That is what earns you the money from the business. So for Sadiq Umar, you understand, is one of the new investors into the league, and they definitely want to see a progress from what happened last season. And this is why we need a host of private investors or other people that will partner with state-owned clubs or clubs that are ready to compete in the league, invest money. It's going to make us ask the right questions. We know where the problems are, and definitely the referee welfare is also part of it, because if the referees are well taken care of, there will be very little chance for clubs to influence the decisions on the end of the day with small incentives or small prizes. So we are supposed to move into the next level, solve refereeing problems, improve their welfare, get them proper health insurance and proper security to protect them from harm that they face on away grounds or grounds where they get to referee football. And for the TV rights or TV sponsorship, we need to get one that's going to work, proper contract. How are we going to deliver this content to the people? Last season, in the season, TV was just yanked off. It came back at some point, and then again, it just went off again. So we need a proper framework for how we are going to televise our leagues for the 38 games in the MPFL.
All right, we'll be looking forward to that, and we hope that all these things are put in place for next season to enjoy good football when it comes to the MPFL. All right, let's take more updates in the world of sport, and this is coming through from the World Cup 2026, and are very much outgoing. Ecuador picked up the victory against Germany 2-1. That has given them a push into the round of 32. Also, the Netherlands against Tunisia, the one ended 3-1. Brian Brobbey getting a goal, Sikri an own goal, and also Jean-Paul Van Eyck getting a goal right there for the Netherlands. That one ended 3-1. Also, like I said earlier on the show in my introduction, Cote d'Ivoire have picked up qualification for the very first time in their history to the knockout stage. They won that one against Curacao 2-0. Nicolas Pepe with a brace for Cote d'Ivoire yesterday, and his final goodbye to one of the smallest nations in the world. We're talking Curacao. What a fight they did come with in this World Cup, having a draw against Ecuador and also scoring a goal against Germany. What a way to do it for the very first time on the big stage of the World Cup. All right, moving away from that, just like you're seeing on your screen, Japan against Sweden. That one ended 1-1, and people have been speaking highly of that game against Sweden and how exciting Japan are in the competition. The game ended 1-1. Anthony Elanga, a beautiful caller from the edge of the box to get an equalizer for Sweden, and made getting a goal right there, the man from Celtic. A beautiful one to look forward to. And USA against Turkey. That one ended 3-2 in favor of Turkey. Finally, picking up their first victory of this World Cup and buying out, with a victory. Not a bad run for them. Adagula, Yilmaz, and I am coming to the party. Finally, Trusty and Bear Hatter getting a goal for the host nation. That has given them qualification already after the 2 games, picking up 6 points. Paraguay against Australia, that one ended goalless, and victory already when it comes to the knockout stage for Paraguay and Australia. But Paraguay will be open for other games, how they turn out for them to know if they are able to pick up our qualification for that. Let's look at what is happening where people are now ready to watch the World Cup. It's the knockout stage, the round of 32. How excited are you? Because definitely the world will be watching this one. Now, we just have some teams who already confirmed that they're going to face each other in the round of 32, but other teams, can we have the draw right there on the screen? We have South Africa against Canada. We have the Netherlands against Morocco. We have, USA against Bosnia and Herzegovina. We have Brazil against Japan, and those are the teams who already that we can confirm that they're going to face each other when it comes to the knockout stage. Sanuddin, exciting times already. Something speaking of result, this is a knockout competition.
Yes, some fantastic matchups coming right up on our screen, and it's just exciting. Canada are going to be facing South Africa, and one to look forward to at the moment is Brazil against Japan. It's going to be very exciting as well. Neymar is back with the side, and Brazil got 2 victories and 1 draw in the group stages, 7 points. They were not convincing in the first game against Morocco, but they've bounced back. Vinicius is on fire, 5 goals in the tournament. That's what you want from your star man. And Cunha, 3 goals, chipping in 1 or 2 things for the side. And for the Japanese side, you mentioned how well they've played all tournament long, and that's how they come every time around to the competition. They bring their A game. They are very tactical. They move in fantastic style, and they're a very well coached side, and that's what you see from a team that is well disciplined, and on the big stage it's going to reap it benefits of their discipline. It's exciting. It's an exciting matchup to look forward to. And for other matches that are yet to be decided, one that probably everybody is wanting right now at the moment is Spain against Argentina, which is possible if the result between Uruguay and Spain in the final group match goes in the favor of the bookmakers and gets us to put us a finalissima that was cancelled. Yamal against Messi, Spain against Argentina. It's going to be an exciting.
So it's all for Uruguay to win tonight.
It's all for Uruguay to win tonight and push Spain to the spots that would allow them play against Argentina as early as in the round of 32 of the World Cup. But it's exciting times at the moment. Like you mentioned, some teams have settled their opponents. They have to prepare very hard now, and some will be keeping their eye on the games that are yet to be decided for their own chance of qualification. Of course, a lot of teams will still drop out, even though they are on good standing in the top 8 for the best losers that will qualify. We automatically qualify 24 teams to the next round. So let's see what happens. Scotland are at the risk of still dropping out. It's not looking good for Senegal at the moment. They need to beat Iraq by FT goal margin,
margins,
in their next game to give them a chance of qualifying. And a host of teams already have 4 points, so that makes it more difficult for them. And we're going to see what happens. Is football, stranger things have happened, exciting matchups are still going to happen, and it's just exciting that we are witnessing what we are witnessing at the moment, and the World Cup, the biggest one ever, is still delivering goodies, and I'm all here for it.
All right, definitely we also got an update that Patrick Schick, also said his final goodbye to international football. All right, let's look at the fixtures for today. It's Norway against France, Senegal against Iraq, we have Cape Verde against Saudi Arabia, we have Uruguay against Spain, we have Egypt against Iran, we have New Zealand against Belgium. Those are the games that are for today. And according to reports, we got the update that there might also be a thunderstorm in the game between Norway and France. But let's talk about those games quickly. Norway, France, Senegal, Iraq.
When I got the report of the thunderstorm, I asked the question, why always France? Why always France? But it's exciting. Is football is whether we can't control it, and to the best of the authorities, they are keeping the players as safe as possible. And this is a very big one. Both sides won their first game of the group stages. A win for France against Senegal, and what's the name, against Senegal and
Iraq.
And Iraq
Yeah.
has given them 6 points and left the advantage. Mbappe on fire, has 4 goals in the tournament already. And for Norway, Haaland, 2 games, 4 goals. That's what you want from a talisman, and the whole team are working together in their debut at the World Cup. So it's exciting to see who ends who leads the table at the end of the day, for who's going to get a maybe lesser opponent, or this time around maybe tricky because of the positions on the top 8 of the best losers at the end of the day. So Mbappe against Haaland is what everybody wants to see tonight. Which attack is going to win against the other? Let's see what happens at the end of the day.
All right, let's talk about the games in the early hours of the morning. Uruguay, Spain, Cabo Verde against Saudi Arabia. We have Egypt against Iran, and we have New Zealand against Belgium.
Those are a very exciting matchup as well. The one to look forward to, like I mentioned earlier, is the match between Uruguay and Spain. Spain have qualified to the next round. They have 4 points at the moment. They are in a good standing position. Whichever place they finish, just a point is going to guarantee them qualification already. But for Uruguay, just have 2 points on the board and need to sit up as fast as possible. They've not looked like the Uruguay side that we all know, the veterans of Diego Forlan, Cavani, Luis Suarez and all, but it's an evolving side, and anything can happen. They can pick up at the end of the day. And for Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde, this is a chance for both teams to snatch up victories and headlines for themselves at the end of the day and progress with one of those two sides, Spain and Uruguay, at the end of the day. So it's exciting at the moment, and I'm looking forward to that match as well. New Zealand against Belgium. Belgium have not done, they've been underwhelming at this tournament. They need to right the wrongs. The likes of Lukaku, De Bruyne, Trossard, Courtois, the big boys and the big names that have graced the golden generation for Belgium need to step up right now and cement their status in the round of 32 if they want to continue the story or end their footballing career with their nations at the end of the tournament. For most of them. So let's see what happens in that game as well. And for Egypt against Iran, one to look forward to as well. Egypt got their first World Cup win the last time out in the second match of the group stage. And for Iran, even though with the persecutions and all from the US government,
they're putting up a fight.
They're putting up a fight in competition. They're not backing down. Their goal got rightfully disallowed in the second game of the competition. And Egypt have a lot on their hands if they want to still qualify to the next round of the competition. So let's see what happens in that game as well.
All right, you're watching us right now. You have the chance to also be part of the show by just dropping your predictions right there in the comment section, and you stand a chance to win something from Dominion Sport. Just drop your predictions ahead of the games to look forward to tonight. All right, let's move away from that. Let's talk transfer update, and this is coming through from the camp of Manchester United, and I'm sure the fans will be a little bit excited for this one. That Andre Onana to Trabzonspor, here we go. New loan deal verbally agreed, as Onana is now is not part of Manchester United plan for next season, and Trabzonspor are ready to resign him. Trabzonspor to pay loan fee to United, as details being sorted then done as reported.
Yes, it's a very good move for both sides. It's not a part of Michael Carrick's plan going forward, and the wage structure he currently ends at Manchester United is going to make it difficult for other top clubs to look at, and even the mistakes and all that marred his time at Manchester United is going to be one that's going to be a deciding factor for him. So for Trabzonspor, He had a decent season last time out, and rightfully so, they've gotten him back on loan. It's going to help the fortune of the club, and for both sides, it's a win-win situation. United have a player less that they want on their roster, and Trabzonspor have their man, which is going to be in the goals for them, and it's just exciting times for both sides. Good luck to him in his endeavours in Turkey, and good luck to Manchester United in their endeavours as well going forward.
All right, more still to come in the world of transfer, and this is coming from the camp of Arsenal. As Perio Nkapie, Arsenal player, has now signed until 2031 as Bayern Leverkusen receive a fee around 40 million euros, and that was never in doubt for the low move earlier last season, but now he has put pen to paper for a fee of around 40 million euros.
Yes, we expected that at the end of the day, and that has happened. Perio Nkapie got the victory with Ecuador against Germany yesterday. It was nice to see him play, even though I have reservations about his performances sometimes. For Arsenal, they've secured their man on the long term. Finally, he's here fully as a player, completed the financial obligations to Bayern Leverkusen, and let them continue their partnership together at the end of the day.
All right, and also in the camp of Manchester City, not sleeping on the oars, Manchester City to sign Elliot Anderson for a record fee of 151 million euros, in bracket to 130, and according to David Austin and Fabrizio, Manchester City and Forest have reached an agreement on the fee. Now the England international needs to finalize personal terms with Manchester City. It would be, and also mean, is the British record transfer holder.
Yes, taking the record of Declan Rice, and for Manchester City, they are going all out to secure the targets for Enzo Maresca, their new manager, after the departure of Pep, and they are trying to build up a side that's going to win the league for them next season, or compete at least in the league next season. So it's exciting to see they have their man now, and this now begs the question: is Rodri leaving Manchester City at the end of the day for them to go all out for a player of English descent? But we've seen Elliot Anderson play with Nottingham Forest. We've seen him with the English setup at the World Cup. He's a decent player, but that amount of money, he has a lot on his shoulder.
Yeah, my question.
He has a lot on his shoulder, the media, but for him, he's lucky it is Manchester City. They can slip under the radar one or two times, but
it's still a club like Chelsea, Manchester United,
or
Arsenal. Yeah.
So the media is more hostile to them and trying to get the best out of the players that these players sign for huge money. But now he's joined the ranks of that British record making transfer. The eyes on the media is on you.
Can he live up to expectation?
Can he live up to expectation? Yes, he can. He's shown what he can do. I've seen him play with Nottingham Forest, like I said. He's a decent player, supports the attack much as well as he shoots the defense. So it's exciting to see how he fits into that side. Don't forget, Manchester City have lost Bernardo Silva to Real Madrid in the closest stage of last season.
Rodri is not certain that
he's going to stay. So that's why I think they are going all out to secure targets for Enzo Maresca that will make him be at the forefront of a challenge next season in the Premier League.
Right, and that's the update right here on Dominion Sport. Yesterday we gave you an update about the Formula One. Exciting time. Beautiful.
For me, everybody's even taking their eyes off this Australian Grand Prix because everybody's eyes is glued to Silverstone next weekend. Lewis Hamilton is going back home with the Ferrari after getting the first win 2 weeks ago in Monaco. Let's see what happens, and we'll give you all the updates when we come back on Monday.
Definitely, we'll give you all the updates of the actions that happened over the weekend and come back with more reactions for you right here on Monday. I want to say a big thank you to everyone that stayed connected to Dominion Television this wonderful morning. I'm sure you have been able to enjoy all the sporting updates we have been able to give you right here on the desk of Dominion Sport. I want to say a big thank you to the producer, to the crew, making sure Dominion Sport remains on the global stage. We're going to see you again on Monday. I am Paul Abe to the one. Make sure you enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, stay blessed, and bye for now.